Hello friends, this is Dr. Anjani, Assistant Professor in Biotechnology. Welcome to e-learning platform. Today I am talking about mechanism of innate immunity. The mechanism of innate immunity will be studied under four different barriers that includes anatomic barriers, physiological barriers, phagocytic barrier and inflammatory reaction. Today we learn about physical and anatomic barriers. This physical barrier is otherwise called as anatomic barrier, and this prevents the entry of most of the pathogen. Physical and anatomic barrier include skin and mucus secretions. The skin is made up of outer epidermis and inner dermis. Epidermis contains several layers of tightly packed epithelial cells. The outer epidermal layer consists of dead cells and is filled with waterproofing protein called keratin. The dermis, which is composed of connective tissue and contains blood vessels, hair follicles, sebaceous gland and sweat glands. In dermis, the sebaceous glands are associated with hair follicles and produce an oily secretion called sebum. Sebum consists of lactic acid and fatty acids, which maintain the pH of the skin between 3 and 5, and this pH inhibits the growth of most of the microorganisms. The dermis is composed of connective tissue and contains blood vessels, hair follicles and glands like sebaceous glands and sweat glands. Sebaceous glands secrete the secretions called the sebum is rich in lactic acid and fatty acid. So the oily nature of the skin is due to this secretion, and this maintains the pH of very acidic condition between 3 to 5, and this 3 to 5 or acidic pH inhibits most of the microorganisms. Few bacteria that metabolize the sebum. Though the sebum maintains the acidic pH, there are certain bacteria or the microorganisms, they have the capacity of metabolizing sebum on the skin and sometimes cause a severe form of acne or the pimples. And though the skin inhibits the entry of the microorganism, certain breaks in the skin resulting from the scratches, wounds or abrasions are various routes of infection. So, though the intact skin inhibits the entry of the microorganism, the certain breaks or the pores which are formed by scratches, wounds, abrasions or the routes of infection, or these are the sites for the entry of the pathogen. The skin may also be penetrated by biting insects like mosquitoes, mites, ticks, fleas and sandflies. So the skin can be penetrated by these biting insects, and if these insects are harbored with pathogenic organism, they can introduce pathogen into the body as they feed. The protozoan that cause malaria, for example, is deposited by mosquito when they take a blood meal on the human body. Similarly, bubonic plague is spread by the bite of fleas, and Lyme disease spreads by the bite of ticks. So these biting insects when they are adsorbed or if they are vectors for certain pathogenic microorganisms, along with their bite, when they feed on the human body for the blood or the other nutrients, these microorganisms enter into the body. Next, coming to the mucous membrane. The conjunctivae and the alimentary, respiratory and urinogenital tracts. The internal organs are lined by mucous membrane. Although many pathogens enter the body by binding to and penetrating the mucous membrane, a number of non-specific defense mechanisms tend to prevent this entry. We'll see how. For example, saliva, tears and mucus secretions act to wash away the potential invaders and also contain antibacterial and antiviral substances that are secreted by the microorganism. When the saliva, tears and the mucus secretions are produced, they wash off these microorganisms or the invaders which cause the diseases. Not only the microorganism, the products which are toxins which are produced by these bacteria or the viruses will be removed. The viscous fluid called mucus, which is secreted by epithelial cells of mucous membranes, entrap the foreign microorganism. When the microorganism enters the internal organ, the thick viscous fluid that is secreted by the mucous membrane, that is called the mucus, will entrap or it will bind to the microorganism and it will inhibit the infection caused by the microorganism. In the lower respiratory tract, the mucous membrane is covered by cilia or hair-like protrusions of the epithelial cell membrane. The synchronous movement of the cilia propels the mucus entrapped microorganism from these tracts. So the mucous membrane, they are having the cilia or the hair-like the protrusions at the tip of the mucous membrane, and when they move to and fro synchronously, they propel the entrapped microorganism from these internal organs or from this mucous membrane. In addition, the non-pathogenic microorganisms tend to colonize the epithelial cells of mucous surfaces. So we all know the useful microorganisms are there inside the organism and they play an important role in the metabolism. And these useful microorganisms, they tend to colonize the epithelial cells of the mucosal surfaces. These normal flora generally outcompete. They compete the pathogens for the attachment site. Since they colonize on the epithelial cells of the mucous surface, they compete with the pathogens for the attachment sites on the surface of the mucous membrane, especially for nutrients. So due to which the pathogens will be removed or will be killed. Some organisms have evolved ways of escaping these defense mechanisms. Though the mucous membrane is showing non-specific defense reaction against various microorganisms, there are certain microorganisms they can invade even through the mucous membrane and they are able to cause the infection in the organism. We'll see some example. Here, influenza virus, which causes the common flu, can invade through or can pass through the mucous membrane. The gonorrhea surface projections will get adhered to the urinogenital tract. They can overcome the defense reactions exhibited by the mucous membrane. Similarly, the adherence of the bacteria by the pili. The bacterial surface is covered with the projections or the pili-like structures, and these will be having the receptors or the binding proteins with the glycoproteins receptors on the mucous membrane. So these pili-like structure specifically bind to the glycoproteins, and they can enter inside the internal organ. I hope you understood today the physical barriers of innate immune reaction, that is skin and mucous membrane. Thank you.